We go. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. It's been a long time. Podcast. What is going on, everybody? Took a break because I couldn't find nobody for last week, but it's okay. But I'm just gonna let everybody know, man. Please retweet that we're doing the podcast live. You know how we do.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
And we got some special guests today, and yeah, it's a really I'm really happy with the guests that I have today. Everybody's favorites, you know what I'm saying? So thank you everybody for joining us right now. Noodles, what's going on? Amon, Fresh Kid, Al Trappin, what's good? And yeah, and I got good bandwidth. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna introduce everybody right now, and I'm gonna start with the new guest, Mr. AJ in the building. What is going on, my dude?
What's happening, brother?
Hey.
How you feeling?
Hey, Busy Work
One
Beats.
time.
And we got Busy Work Beats in the building.
What up? Hello there. Hello. Hello, America. What you guys? I'm saying what's up to people in the chat. So shout out Ahmad Guapdolo. I know that guy. Awesome.
Then
Being here.
I found them, guys. I found them. Mr. Difference in the building again.
Man, I'm back. I'm chiming in to Mr. MIA. I've been ghost for a minute, but I'm back. I finally got some downtime. Let's do this.
And I got my moderator in the building. Boof Water B, what's good? Keep that chat clean. Malcolm.
I must have missed it. I must have been missing some stuff there. You gotta say that.
No, it's actually been really good. Some really good podcasts, as a matter of fact. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and christen up this podcast with this intro. You know how we do. Let's go. Dope. So, oh yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. Let's see, it's on the docket again. A3C pregame. We know we have already talked about this before on the show. I think we've talked about it for like 2 weeks now. Should I go? Shouldn't I go? Is it worth going? And all that stuff. I mean, it still hasn't changed for me. I don't think it's necessarily good unless you have a plan. Like, I think that's any way you want to move. And that's how we're going to start this groove off bars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about some of the pregame, I guess. But first, I'm going to go to Busy Work Beats since he brought us all together. I met pretty much everybody through Busy Work Beats, if I'm not mistaken. So Busy Work Beats, you're coming to A3C this year. I'm really happy that you're going to be back in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you. Wow. He's like, I am really happy that you will be back in Atlanta. Reading the script. No, I'm just no, but it's fun. I guess I've never been to A3C, but like I'm assuming that it's like NAMM, in that NAMM is just the thing that gets people there.
NAMM for hip hop, I guess, would be the best way to approach it, I guess.
Oh yeah, I need to know how to look at it because it's not really about like going to go see the DJ Academics or going to go see who else is coming down? Gary V, I think, is going to be there.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of motivational speakers.
Mm-hmm. Like with what we do, it's about all the secondary stuff, like all the auxiliary stuff that's going on, and there's so much collab opportunity as far as content goes, and I'm excited.
Yeah, well, if you're excited, then I am excited. Amon, I know you got a course that you're gonna do. You got a panel, and I know you're gonna be doing stuff for Isotope. So am I right or am I wrong?
No, I'm gonna do. I'm doing something with iStandard, but I'm gonna be incorporating Isotope's software into it. So I'm gonna pull Ozone 9 in. I just downloaded that the other day. I know we're gonna
get to that. But yeah, so I'm gonna be doing that and private classes here at the studio, and then I have another potential 1 or 2 speaking engagements. So we'll see what happens.
Oh yeah, that's really dope. That's really dope.
Yeah.
So Mr.
The studio is super busy during A3C. Like it's my busiest time of year for sure.
Yeah. I couldn't even book. I couldn't book a studio. I couldn't book over there at Astro, and I was very upset about that because I like let them know 2 weeks in advance, had the bread. Like I was like, man, I'm willing to pay a deposit, and you know I'm not gonna go and because it's an album being cut over there right now, and I don't want to put it out there in the street. But it's the young kids, the young bloods, they will love that. The youngsters.
Yeah. But what we typically do, so like Busy, when you were talking about how what is A3C or what's the way to perceive it? Like the panels are good sometimes.
Factual.
It's just being honest, you know what I'm saying? Like being honest, the panels are sometimes I don't know. Y'all use language on the podcast, or you know what I mean, or
we can go as dark as it want. I don't care.
A lot of these people jack themselves off on stage, and that's right. It's really panels are supposed to be there for you to like provide information for people, and have real discussions. So, but yeah, some of the panels are phenomenal. And then really what it boils down to, the concerts are okay, but for people like us, we're there for the relationships. I wind up seeing business all year from the relationships that I make during A3C. So yeah, if you leverage it properly, it's a good opportunity.
See, I don't think you gave the people your credentials. He's trying to be humble up in here.
Don't go there, bro.
Because I mean, for all the people who don't know,
right? AJ's a big deal.
I'm acting like I have the list on deck ready to read, which I don't. But
when I saw Kellogg's on there, I was like, "Oh shit!"
That was weird, bro. When Kellogg came through, it was weird because they had like they have this thing called TV Land or something they do where they put a gang of people. Okay, so the film crew is so big, they put a film crew outside, and then they bring a film crew inside, and all the stuff that people will do inside is monitored outside.
Wait.
Yeah, that's how me and Daniel roll. That's what we're trying. That's what me and my buddy is trying to do on a bigger scale. I'm not gonna put the whole play out there, but yeah, I would like to elaborate on A3C just a little bit. Just like AJ said, man, like it is all about the networking because you end up meeting somebody at A3C. And then they end up being somebody maybe the year after that, next year. I know DJ Darrell, I met him 2 years ago, and shit, he turned around and was producing most of QC stuff. And wow. And, from there, I met DJ Payne one there, meet and greet there. And now me and DJ Payne was working on some projects together. And
really?
Like not even and who else like Major? I remember Major 7. Even though Major 7 is a big deal beforehand, but he met up with the same people that he ended up dealing with, and then he ended up rocking with Lou Diaz and being on the DJ Khaled album. And it's like these festival things. You don't necessarily go for the panels, and like AJ was saying, it is definitely, and what we said last week, it's like a whole big old mess of somebody trying to tell you the things that you need to do to be successful, but they don't understand what made them successful, or they're just not telling how it is. Oh man, Guadalajara. But Mr. Different, I don't want to
preach.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the event is the front. And then like the real deal thing is people closing business deals or people just meeting in general. It's just like going to LA. Like everybody's gonna be there. So like everybody you want to collaborate with is gonna be there. Why not be there?
Yeah, I'm not missing NAMM this next year. I had the money and all that stuff, and I just was like, no, I'm not gonna go to NAMM. And then it ended up being like the major play for a lot of people. So it swung YouTube a little bit too, as far as like the technology side.
Right.
Yeah, I was shocked. I saw Warren Hewart there. We were supposed to link up, but I forget what happened. Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of like recognizable faces were there at the last NAMM in January. But I don't know, that 6-hour flight, I really would have to contemplate.
6-hour flight?
Yeah, from Philadelphia to LA.
What? That's crazy. It's like, I don't know, it's like maybe less than that for Orlando. Like, it's like 3 hours, I believe. Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah, you on a fucking turbojet with fucking...
I don't remember it being only 6 hours, dog.
You must have been asleep. You must have been knocked out. Dude.
Oh, of course. No way. No, dog. I remember the first time I went to LA, like, it didn't take that long. Maybe, yeah. It took about 5 hours.
When you take Drake's plane, I mean. When you got label access flying you on the PJ, it's a little bit different.
Nah, I ain't got that access. Not yet. Mm-hmm. We're getting there, guys. It's slowly gonna happen. Well, fastly, honestly. But Mr. Different, man, why no A3C from you?
Man, family. I don't have time. I just haven't had time to go there. I need to go there because, like I said, I want to meet some people. You know, this could be a good opportunity for me as well to, you know, get my brand out there. Now, that's why I feel like I ain't going there for the panel. I'm going there to see who I can meet, who I can network with, who I can make relationships with, who I can build with, and, you know, maybe potentially start, you know, something with, you know, artist wise, producer wise, company wise, whatever. But I just need to get the time to go do it. I know I am going to NAMM, the next NAMM. I'm definitely going that because I was supposed to go the last one myself too. Had asked the companies being like, "Hey, we want you to come." I'm like, I can't. But now my kids are older now. I'm good. I got more time. I'm definitely gonna start doing that now. Like doing more traveling. I got a lot more traveling planned. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to going to the next one. Hopefully, I can get in this one, the A3C this time. But I don't know if I'm making it in time. But we'll have to see how plans go.
Yeah,
right.
I need to go. I haven't been to one yet, and it'll be my first time going. So I look forward to actually going to one, like for real. Like one of my artists I'm working right now really wants to go too. So I'm trying to see if I can, you know, convince like, hey, let's go, man. It's just me and you. Pack them, just take off and go. So hopefully I can spin that for me, you know, convince them to do that so we can just take off and do that.
It's much better than the Revolt Summit because the Revolt Summit lacked technology, even though they tried their best, like like they had technology on deck, like to talk about and. But other than that, I mean, you have like Native Instruments there. Splice is going to be there. Pioneer, Serato. So I was actually shocked my first time going. I was just like, dang. And then it was like, oh, Alf McCree, Trap Tendo. I'm like, hey, what's going on?
What's up?
That's awesome. And yeah, I guess you made a good point is that, Mr. Different, like if you don't have a big enough reason behind being in town, there's like, the event isn't the reason. Does that make sense? Like NAMM feels hollow unless you have something else around it to make NAMM important. I don't even know if that makes sense.
Like basically just going there for no reason, pretty much. Like going there for a specific reason, pretty much saying, I guess. I don't know if I'm interpreting it right. I might be turning it wrong.
Yeah, because like the only reason, I mean, to be honest, that I'm coming back to ATL is because I'm going to do the Cymatics podcast and there's some content with them for the first time. This is like me breaking the ice. I used to hate Cymatics at one point. And so we're going to see what it's like. But if it weren't for like their event or whatever happening, I wouldn't be like, hey, A3C's in town. It's time to fly to Atlanta. You know,
right.
I think, what do you guys think about when we have these events and stuff? What do you think about the value of networking? Like a lot of people try to sell you on the networking, but then when you go to a seminar, it's like nobody actually networks.
I don't know what's up. And I'll be quick. I always thought to myself, and I'm guilty of this, like not opening up to people like of just freely in the past and just not trying to make stuff happen. But now I go there, doing photography, all kinds of stuff, and because either or just talking to somebody, just having a nice little conversation with somebody you didn't know could lead to a whole lot because. A lot of the CEOs, the real deals, they're just observing and they're quiet and you be nice to people. You never know, and it's not really about money, but you know it's always about like just doing something cool. I would say.
Right. Sitting there nudging the CEO with the elbows. You see that, Bob?
Yeah, it's funny.
You're hugging all the kids like all trapped in. You're hugging everybody all extra.
Kissing
Trying
babies.
To look good in the eyes.
Well, you know, the thing about the traveling piece is what I've noticed is that when you meet people. Well, first of all of everybody that's on here has like a fan base, and so with that fan base, one of the cool things about doing some of these events and traveling to NAMM or A3C or whatever is that your fans get to meet you in person, because they're not going to plan a trip to come to your town just for the sake of coming to your town. So like if everybody's kind of converging on the same spot, then it kind of creates an opportunity for them to meet you and get that that face to face. But I think Busy, what you were alluding to was to try to build something around the situation. Like if you're going to be going, if you're traveling to go to NAMM, then set up some sessions, you know what I mean? Or do something outside of NAMM that creates value, that makes it worth, because it's just spending the money just to go to the event. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so much more you could do. If I'm flying to LA, I'm going to call Focus and I'm going to call, you know what I'm saying, UTK and all these other folks and try to like get other things happening while I'm there, so that the cost of going out there is worth it. You know what I mean?
You basically summarized it in a nutshell. It's like make 12 things happen out of one thing. Like don't just go for the one thing, go for 12 other things. That's like the easiest way to think about it. So like I guess for those who are trying to sacrifice, because I think what I'm trying to tap into is the myth of like, for example, Revolt Summit ab that you went to. People were paying, what was the like high ticket price? It was like 400.
It was 500. It was actually cheaper than A3C. That's for sure. And then on top of that, if you went like general admission, it was with the code love, it was $100. So that wasn't that bad, but still, if you was out there in 100-degree weather in the midst of Atlanta with no canopy over your head, because holy shit, it was really hot those few days. But like I saw Brandman Sean out there. Me and him kicked it. I saw Jay Black, the Mr. Drum Machine Monster himself. Of course, Steve. I saw a whole bunch of people I already knew, and and then Ronnie too as well. Ronnie was passing out his books. He's in the chat right now, Mr. Smith. Shout out to him. Ronnie Smith, guess what is going on? It was a lot of people, and if I forgot you, I'm sorry. And then on top of that, my homie, the A&Rs were there from Empire, of course, Butter and El Nice, and it was, for me, it didn't really matter, but for anybody that was there, they wouldn't know pretty much the moving parts. And then I got introduced to Diddy, and that was like, I was like, damn. And he actually, again, like I said, he really. I really got to respect the man for what he does, because a lot of people might think because he makes a lot of money or whatever that he doesn't put in that type of work, and he really does. Like if somebody is effing up, like if somebody's really fucking up, then he's really going over there to talk to them, and he's not going to scream on them or anything like that. He actually talks to them as if they were as worth as much as him. You know what I'm saying? So,
oh wow.
So he's
Did you have to dance your way up to him, like do the Harlem Shake to give him a handshake? There was a good question in here. I want to address it by Bufo. Am I saying that right? Buffo or Bufo? Probably saying it wrong.
I say Bufo too, or Bufu. I do apologize if I say your name wrong, because I much respect. But go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
Well, what do you like? How can I see the chat?
I'm just on the phone.
Oh yeah. You can see it or directly on YouTube from the live stream. That's why I usually do for, like, I have YouTube, the live stream up and the chat up and stuff like that on different screens and stuff.
Oh yeah. That's why I'm looking down. I'm looking at the chat. Bufo just was asking, how does one network with professionals that you don't know? Like, for example, I'm not going to read his whole thing, but for example, like if people aren't influencers like yourself, how do they like actually make a difference? Does handing that person the business card actually matter, or are they going to trash it? Like, what's your opinion on that?
I'm gonna let Amon answer that first, and then I'll answer it.
Yeah, they're gonna throw it away. Just being honest, they're gonna throw it away. The thing about it is what people look for is like in the business card approach is not that it's bad, but first of all, I think business cards are antiquated. At least in our industry, they are, because there's not a way to take the data from a business card and see, I'm calling it data, which says a lot, but there's no way to import the data from a business card into your cell phone, which is your primary communications device. So it's not that it's bad to have business cards. It's just that you're going to get more benefit out of them following you, or like establishing some kind of information, communication on social media. Because one of the differences for me growing up was that when we were in business situations and people were giving cards to each other, you could say you were whoever you wanted to say you were, and you could write on the card whatever you wanted to write. But when I meet somebody and I go to their page, I can see what they're really about and whether or not there is value in us working together. And I get a more three-dimensional perspective on who that person is and whether or not there's mutual benefit there. So I think that you're trying to establish real connections with people, and not business cards don't create that. It makes it easy to not bond with people. You know what I'm saying? It's like a crutch or an excuse. So if you want to like build relationships there, then actually build relationships. So follow people. Here's a technique: follow people. If you don't have an app that shows you the new people that you followed, follow them and screenshot it. And then after A3C, make yourself some kind of document or whatever you need to do to like make sure that you're following up with them consistently over the next however long until it becomes the algorithm on things like Instagram learn to display their content and interact with those people. And that's how you're going to create the relationship. It's not going to come from like, hey, I'm such and such, and here's my card. You know what I'm saying? Like that. It just doesn't. I have like physically, like, look, bro, like,
Uh-oh.
Pull out a stack of business cards, just like holding it up to his ear.
And these are people that I actually want to communicate with, but like I don't even use these. I follow their pages, and now when I want to talk to Berg, I contact Berg, or if I want to hit Cord from Antares, I text him or I send him. You know what I'm saying? Like I send him a DM. So it's business cards. Anyway, that's a whole dissertation, but hopefully that's helpful.
Isn't that crazy too? Like a few years ago, like I don't see. You know how you always get asked that question, what do you see yourself in 5 years? I promise you, I did not see myself being able to like private message, talk on the phone to a lot of these tech companies and stuff like that. Like I promise you, I didn't think I was going to be playing the guitar and then actually playing like as a session player. Like, man, and that just happened this year. It's just a weird year for everything, and I didn't see myself getting to meet you guys. Like meeting y'all guys, that actually really refreshed, and I'm really grateful. I want to start telling people I'm very thankful, and I'm really proud of you, of everybody that I've seen that's flourished in this business. I don't want to say business because I really like music so much that I don't really consider it business, but I do take it serious though. But I'm really proud of you guys. I'm really proud of you guys, all the things that y'all have accomplished, man. Like, I want to take a moment to say that.
Likewise, brother. Appreciate that.
I saw you with the guitar. The virtual high five. Is this corny? Can we get a high five chat? It's like covering up the whole.
But yeah, with the business card thing, I did see one thing though. From the Revolt Summit, there was an artist. He had a scan. I can't think of the scan. But he had a scan on his business card that scanned his album if you had like Spotify, so it would automatically playlist. And I ended up talking to him. I was like, dude, if it wasn't for that, I would have threw your card away. Like I was just being honest. I'm just gonna. I was like, if I gotta pay you money to get the information to be able to do that, because I think that's really clever. And it made me listen to his stuff. It was still trash, but it was a good idea. The technology. His strategy was really good.
Right.
Yeah, QR codes are dope.
But
and you can instantly know it's trash. And play it on the spot for him, and he can see your real reaction while you're listening to it over your phone.
So I'm very curious of if since he could do that with Spotify using that scan code with your camera. I'm very curious if you can actually, if there's a way to implement it to where you can just have somebody scan with their phone and just put in all that information at once. That'd be dope. And I'm really been investigating. I've been asking a couple of the other people that do more than what I can do as far as like programming and stuff. But yeah, I got to do it.
I think it was Ronnie Smith in your chat said something about he said there was a brother at the Revolt Summit that he met with the technology to instantly transfer, I guess the way you just said it, where their name might populate, their links, their website, everything into the iPhone at least. I'm assuming that's what he means.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Well, it was I scanned it with my phone and it pulled up Spotify and it put his album in on my playlist. And I was like, damn, that's really dope. But, I deleted it off the playlist because it wasn't good. But dude himself has more value. And that actually kind of reminds me, too. That's the thing. When meeting people, you got to, and I'm probably going to discuss in another video, and I think Busy Work Beast has already talked about branding is trust, and trust is branding. But, yeah, you got to bring some type of value to the table, man. Sometimes it's not about beats, man. It's about something else that you do. And it will really make people want to be around you because everybody can open up FL Studio and whatnot, man. But what else can you do? You know what I'm saying? It's usually the thing that what especially with Diddy. Like Diddy was asking me about stuff, and I was like, dude, I got this. Know these people do this stuff with tech and all that. Like, that needs to be at Revolt. Like, I wouldn't just want to scream at the world and say you didn't have enough from music producers. I was like, that was my first thing because he asked me that.
Oh, wow. You had a conversation with Diddy. That's the first. I don't know anybody who's ever talked to Diddy, so shout out to Av.
Hell yeah.
There we go. Holding it down for the...
Good. So I do have two things. One is a formal complaint, and the other thing is a question for Mr. Different. Right? So are you using like a human eyeball to get that kind of resolution? What in God's name camera is that, bro?
Oh, that's just GH5, like a 3-4-year-old camera at this point.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm just using that. Just hooked up straight to the computer through a little a little HDMI, the USB 3 video card you can get, at Walmart, Best Buy for like,
or a game capture card or something like that. That's how I run mine.
That's all it is. Yeah, for like $100, maybe on sale for like 70 at some points on Amazon.
Yeah, I got to do that.
Oh yeah.
The second thing is my formal complaint. I was not aware that everybody was going to have a special microphone.
My bad.
So this is not connected to the computer, but I'm just going to hold
it
and pretend like I'm special.
Surprise, motherfucker.
we're the Shure boys right here. I just realized everybody's a Shure mic right now.
Oh, those are the truth. SM7B all day.
Well, I'm the Ashton now. I'm the Ashton though. I got an Ashton microphone in front of me. That's my baby.
Ashton Martin. You say Ashton, like ASH?
Oh, man, I might be saying it wrong.
It's like Ashton Martin. Yeah.
Wow, you got the luxury freaking. Is that pearlescent paint on your microphone too? Does it change colors? Silver to gold.
Where did you learn the word pearlescent? And why
Need for Speed? Need for Speed Underground too.
He was kicking it with T.I. for a week, and he sped up his vocabulary a little bit expeditiously.
I went to the dictionary expeditiously. No, only because of video game. That's the only reason why.
All right, so I think that's enough A3C pregame talk. Actually came out with some really good stuff. That was some really good stuff that everybody spewed out there.
Thank you.
So let's get to the Ozone 9 thoughts.
I think I dropped my video, man. I'm gonna get some little preview into it.
So, did you drop your Ozone 9 video?
Nah, man. I'll wait till everybody else get their video out first before I do mine. You know how I am. I'm late. I let everybody get that first day video, that second day video, not come up with like the next week video. Like, hey, here it is. Boom. This is what they forgot to say. This is me. I don't want to just be like, just dropping it and be dropping. I like to wait. I'm lazy.
Well, so as everybody may know, you may not know, Isotope just dropped a new version of Ozone 9. I actually had the pleasure of beta testing it a month ahead of time and working out some of the bugs with the development team. Really good guys over there at Isotope. Of course, that happened for me spending about almost $1,000 on Isotope products from the past years or so. And as of late, the Ozone 7 was good, and then I didn't have Ozone 8, but I finally got Ozone 8, and I was like, holy crap, and I could make it the same size as the screen. People clown me in the comment section about that too. But like,
I love that.
Then 9 comes in, and then they combine a little bit of what RX has that makes RX really good, which, man, I really love RX-7. So Ozone 9 drops. A lot of people are, the typical people are always upset, and they're just, oh my god, I gotta get another one. I just bought 8. And I'm just,
I ain't hear much. I ain't hear much of that going on. I heard something else.
Yeah, and not to mention that they gave away Ozone 8 Elements, which is actually not even too watered down from Ozone 8 Standard. Though Advanced is the way to go, and it's expensive. I get it, guys. I really do get it. But a lot of people had their thoughts about it. They were saying that there's not much done to it and all that. But I weigh in on that. So I'm gonna go. I don't know.
Boulder Dash.
Yes,
Yeah.
Huge Boulder Dash right there. But yeah, we all know. I'm gonna go read a little bit of what they added. I already know. Of course, there was the rebalancing. That's my shit. That's my joint. Cause goddamn, sometimes people just don't bring all this stuff to the table when you are mixing and mastering, and that makes it much better. Not the true fix, but it is what it is when certain cases. Come on, I'm waiting for my stuff to pull up here. Music Radar is one of those sites that has a lot of advertisements. Holy crap. But of course, we had Master since it got retooled. They added a vintage thingy to it, so that if you want that old school sound, another impressive tool that they had added to it was definitely the low end something. I forgot what it's called. Low end focus. Oh my god, really good. Really good.
Thank God they had it. I mean, they already had it with the I think it's spectral shaper or tone shaper they had in there. I think it's called where it deal like kind of
tonal
like a
balance
for the height. Yeah, well, they had one. They had
that
I
is
think
tough.
they added a 7. I think where they added or 8. Where they added where it's kind of like a high end low. It's like low end focus, but for high end, it was more like a DS for the high end. So I'm glad they added the low end part.
Are you talking about the separate plugin that they have for Neutron? I can't.
No,
Sculpture,
it's Ozone. It's an Ozone.
Okay. Oh, you. Anyways, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start it off with Amon, and I don't know if he tried out 9, and I'm pretty sure he did. Amon, what is your impressions of Ozone 9?
I literally just got it about 48 hours ago, so I pulled up some old sessions just to try to see what it was going to do. And the thing for me was the rebalance. I liked rebalance when it was just its own plugin a lot. I think it was it's really effective. I was able to. There was a producer from Honorable Court who was getting ready to do a remix for. I want to say it was a Lil Baby record, and
DJ
he was
Cash?
over here. Huh?
DJ Cash? Because I haven't talked to that fool in a while.
Who, Cass?
Yeah.
Nah, it was Vandal.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
So Vandal was here, and he was getting ready to do a remix of this record for one of our clients that are out in Louisiana. Right. So I took Music Rebalance and made him an acapella so that he could take the acapella home and make the beat for the record.
Mm.
So that was pretty useful. I mean, it doesn't take everything out of it, but
right.
it the type of solution when I did a Thug record where the vocal was printed into the reference and they lost the vocal in the session, and so when I did that, I had to use phase inversion to try to remove some of the lower end elements of the beat in order to mix it into the vocal for the other person that was on the song.
Mm-hmm.
And if Music Rebalance had been out back then, it would have been really cool. So I love that part of it. I think that the GUI in general is a little smoother. I like the load time function. I like how they're shaving off the load time in general, because Ozone, anything that Isotope makes is really processor intensive.
Yes.
That's
the honest thing, and that was the other thing that people say, man, it's just like I can't run none of it. I'm like, dude, now I got a 2014 processor, my guy, and I can run it without a problem while screen recording. But it's still CPU intensive, nonetheless. Yeah. I ain't gonna front on that. But dude, like if you have anything earlier than my shit, then it's time for you to upgrade just like me.
Big facts.
Time to upgrade from the mama's laptop from Walmart that they've been borrowing for so long.
That Celeron D.
The Pentium 8 or whatever, the Pentium 4s.
The E-machines.
Oh, man.
Ooh, those are the shit back in the day.
Oh, God, yeah. I remember. I got one back here I'm working on for somebody. They want me to fix up something. Well, yeah.
They want you to boost up the E-machine.
I'll clean it up. I'll clean it. I'll wipe it clean.
Let me help you. I'll throw it away.
There you go.
It's gonna be the on E-machine.
They're just gonna surf the web and check emails. That's how they doing. So I say that I'm glad because they wouldn't do nothing else.
Oh man, I bet that thing got roaches in it.
It's actually pretty in good condition. I'm surprised in good condition. I was like, I opened it. I said, oh, okay, I can work with this then.
Don't act like you've never seen an insect of some kind inside of a tower, bro. Like,
oh, I have. Yeah, I have. I've seen that. Man, one of my friends, when I was helping him clean his computer and upgrade his, I was like, man, nah. You on your own. Yeah. You on your own, man. You clean up. I'll come back with his clean.
Yeah, I remember my buddy's tower, his Mac tower, and he asked me he paid me good money to do it. And when I unscrewed it, it had like cobwebs, and I was like, dude, that's why it's not starting right there. I was like, you clean that out, you probably won't even have to worry about changing your power supply, dude. That is terrible.
Yeah.
Cobweb so thick the disc can't spin. It's just like getting stuck. You know how like on the side of the processor chips or whatever, there's those little like things that like look like arms almost, but like it's really just a dead centipede, 100 legs. It looks like a processor chip. I don't know all the computery talk.
That is disgusting.
But I can only imagine. My goodness.
Go ahead, Amon. What was you saying about 9?
What was even the topic? Like, what? How we gonna
Ozone, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I liked Ozone. I like Ozone. I'm gonna incorporate it into my my class on during A3C. So cool. I like it, man. I think with all software, like there's when you're not a professional, and when I say professional, that you do it for a living. If it's not something you do for a living, I can understand why you don't want to upgrade software. But the bottom line is like I know people that haven't upgraded software that are using stuff from so many years ago that it's like now your stuff feels and sounds old, and there's a reason why it's considered an upgrade. You know what I mean? So even if it's just more presets or the algorithm is smarter, which is essentially, to me, Isotope is developing AI. So as they're developing the AI, it's going to, just like Siri, it's going to get better every year. So why not, why not take advantage of the new algorithms? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, and I've seen it. I've seen it in a couple other. They're gonna be just like how Waves is. Waves has a lot of their stuff in other products that just don't have their name incorporated on it. I'm like, man, like really? So these headphones, these gaming headphones I have on are products of Wave stuff. I'm like, man, I could see Isotope doing like a algorithm type thing for a couple of companies.
Oh, what type of headphones you got on?
Well, I have the Beyerdynamics. We'll get in. We'll get into that a little later. These are not my gaming headphones though.
Sponsored by Beyerdynamics.
It's like you wear your studio headphones to game. You're sitting there picking out all the mistakes in the mixing of Call of Duty. Oh man.
Oof.
Yeah. But I didn't let that go. Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead, brother.
I was just saying how like the AI part of Ozone is what I like because it helps me pull out all the muddiness that I can't hear like around 200 hertz. My ear really isn't that great to like identify the mud in my experience, and my tracks always come out like ambiguously muddy. And when I run it through the mix assistant or whatever, and I see it dip at 220 and like 700 all the time, that lets me know that I need to start listening for those frequencies or stop adding so much. So it's like teaching me on the go moving forward, but not like relying on the computer. Just
I suggest tonal balance. Just check out tonal balance too, and just throw that in. I'm about to start throwing that in. I'm gonna do a video on that. Everybody's gonna end up doing a video on it, but that tonal balance too is like I've never. That's like next level EQing. I think visually, I think a lot of people, regardless of what level you're at, can appreciate that plugin. Goddamn.
More people learn better by seeing stuff than hearing stuff, because you got to develop your ears. But if you see it happen, it's easy to identify. I think tonal balance is really going to just want to help people out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like. Oh, my bad. You go ahead. I know you're still talking.
No, I was just saying like the you don't realize how flat something. Like I always would be like, oh, it's just a room. Like, oh, I have to go to a studio with better monitors. I would always make an excuse. Then you see the computer do it, and you're like, freak. Like, I don't know. That's all I have to say. It makes stuff sound really flat, like by default, and then you can make it more human after that.
Right.
I cut you off though. My bad.
Mr. Different.
Oh yeah. Well, I think about it. Well, I mean, I enjoy this. I beta tested it too, so I was one of the people about the beta test as well. It was in the forums and all that. Actually, posted a suggestion as well on a few things, as far as like EQing and all that. But anyway, yeah, I like. There's a few things I like about that. I don't think a lot of people are talking about. Like one, the fact that it is NKS supported now, which is very dope for a lot of people. So people like on machines and stuff like that, you can now use isotope directly from that and master and all that. I don't see not me. I think only isotope the only person that pointed that out on their official video. But I ain't see nobody else point that out. I don't know. I ain't watching.
Yeah, I had that in the back of my brain, but I just by the time I got my video, I was like, man, forget this. But it's all about this rebalancing, man.
Yeah, exactly. But some people really do like that. Like, I mean, I said, some people are dedicated machine users, and now they can just pull up isotope and all the features right there, and just
no excuses now.
Hey, what it is. I think that's a dope feature. The rebalance, I really do like that. Like I say, it's like I said, not as powerful as the RX version, but it's still good to have. But if you got the advanced version, you get it as a plugin form. So you can use multiple levels, which I think is dope. Especially because I get mixes all the time where the vocals are like, I mean, you can't even hear the beat. The vocals are so loud. So it's like just having to be able to nudge it down a little bit or bring the bass up a little bit. It's dope. What is it? I like the way they changed the EQ up. The EQ looks. I like the EQ is a lot better. It looks like Nectar and Neutron, and I like the way the EQ looks. I'm so glad. It's more reminiscent of Fat Filter's EQ a little bit, in my opinion. That's just me. I might be weird, but yeah, I mean, overall, this is an update to get. Like, if you're at 7 or 8,
I don't even think that was Fat Filter that started the whole parametric EQ.
No. I mean, about how it looks. How it's blank, and you just click in there, and it just it makes sure you push your little point and all that. You could change it. Like I say, it looks more like the Neutron and the Nectar EQ, which I really like. Neutron. I use Neutron a lot. I use Nectar a lot, especially for vocals. It's great on vocals. If you ain't using Nectar, something wrong with you. But yeah, it's a great plugin. Like I said, it's worth the upgrade, in my opinion. Then they got like a big sale too right now. It's like you pay nothing to upgrade if you cross grade or whatever. So why not get it? I mean, stop sleeping on it. I don't know why people are hating on it for some reason. I guess it's the people who just don't want to be with the technology, just don't want anything to do it for them. But I look at it as like giving you a custom preset. You're not going to use it for the final product, but it will get you in the ballpark, and you got to do it gets you, I don't know, halfway there, and you got to do the other half to make it fully polished. That's how I see. That's what I use Ozone for.
Yeah, and oops, sorry, I'm trying to multitask. My brain sucks at it. Oh, I didn't mean to cut everybody off, but rewind 1 second back. Just Mr. Different, like my brain goes off on a tangent, and if you rewind on one step, I will be right back where my thought left off.
So what's up?
What was the last piece of what you just said?
Oh, I look at it as like a custom preset type thing. Like you don't use the master and assist to just be like, hey, master and assist done. It's mastered. Time to go on about my business. Like, hey, this is what we think should be done. Now, do you like it? Do you want to add to it? You want to take away from it? This is what we think will make it better. You go from there. And I think some people look at it like, oh, it's just an easy button. You just smash the easy button, it's done, and you walk away from it. People don't like that. But I look at it like, no, it's instead of, going through presets that won't work for your music because they were made with other material that you probably didn't record, mix, or anything.
It's not Lander. It's not Lander.
We ain't talking about Lander. Lander don't compete with Ozone.
The $54 million funded company, Lander.
Holy God, no.
Yeah, I've seen them put another. I think they got a team of people that they put in. Well, let me not give out all their business, but they definitely have money to squander. They definitely make that wobble. They make that goo wop.
Oh yeah.
Goo wop.
Yeah, I feel it. Yeah, I think that's always gonna. No, the future is always gonna bring good tools, and I think this is another one in the toolbox. I say it's not the tools, it's the person behind it, and you gotta look at it like that at the end of the day.
True. Well, it reminds me. I'm glad you brought that up because it reminds me of when Serato first came out. Serato and Tractor, and the DJ community was, I'm sure it's like the DJ community. There was this huge backlash of like, oh, this is trash. Like you got to bring your vinyl to the and
shit. Oh, here we go again.
Right. They're all valid points, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like what happened is first of all, I'm not scared of what a computer can do in contrast to what I can do. And if you feel that way, then it means that you're not actually trying. You know what I'm saying? Like you should be excited to have another tool in your toolbox that can help you elevate what you already do. That's literally, if you feel like, if you're a mix engineer and you feel threatened by some software, then it's like, bro, I'm excited. I want to help them develop the software to make it even smarter, because it's helping people. Number one, it's not all about you. Number two,
it's never about us. It's about the vision.
Right. It's about the community. Like we die someday. You know what I'm saying? And this technology is helping to make what we love so much accessible to more people.
Right. And that's the important part. Like, it's just with like all the things, like, even with like the push to and all that. And I'm trying to think of like Scalar, and there's just a lot of tools. It's just a lot of easier access things. I even look at like things like Musician, which you still got to learn and practice every day to get better at playing an instrument. But those, if I had Musician at the same age as a lot of these youngsters, I would be, man. Like I'm happy. It's like, what a time to be alive. That's how I feel.
Exactly. It's making the entry to this whole world of music easier too for people. Like now, someone who's really passionate about it now get into it. Oh shit!
I was typing a comment. I'm sorry, I couldn't.
He's there. They going in. I hate when the screen gets stuck on my face. I'm just staring off his face. Because if I look over and see me just looking up, just doing the anime stare.
All right, so I think everybody got theirs in there as far as like Ozone. I'm not gonna really stay on this topic so long.
My video come out tomorrow, so make sure you subscribe to Mr. TV and like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, that is definitely that's the one thing I need to do. Put into the description is everybody's information, because I was rushing, and I need to make sure that everybody watches this video, sees this, and all that. But next thing I want to talk about though, it's gonna be some spicy stuff. Shout out to the Spice Gang. I don't know, did the Spice Gang stream today, or did they take a day off?
They stream today. Maybe do it later. They might do that. I hope so, because they do some good stuff.
But we're gonna talk about Behringer. Behringer, the company out of Germany. They did some stuff yet again, and they have been on a tangent of like just rinsing and repeating a lot of the older stuff. Now I get it, Behringer. Like I really do get it when it comes to something like the TR-808, which Roland could have did a whole better job of. When they put out the boutique version, it was a digital version of it. I was arguing with somebody in the comment section about something that people at Roland told me. They told me they use process samples. They was telling me, no, it's a virtual instrument, a virtual analog of. I was like, no, it's not. It's samples, and they used whatever. It's
system or that yeah.
I forgot what it's called, but anyway, so Behringer dropped the RD8, and it's incredible. It's what everybody wanted, and then they also are dropping a couple of other. They dropped the Model D thing, which was like an emulation of Moog stuff, and then they're also doing some other things. And now
they got Odyssey now. They got an Odyssey coming out too, I think. Odyssey.
Oh my God, really?
That's good. Yeah, they got the Odyssey, and they got the S8.
Hilarious. So they are in the midst of going at another company. So this one right here is really interesting, because it's the headphones that I'm rocking right now. I have the Beyerdynamic DT 770s on my head. They're still manufacturing these, but Behringer is making a $35. Oh, I messed up.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
A $35 studio headphone version of these. Well, they're studio headphones. Why not studio? But a $35 version of these. And it's supposed to be about the same specs. It says 38 kilohertz, so that is the bigger part of the range of these headphones, and the smaller range at 10 hertz. I don't know about the ohms or anything like that, but ohms only really matter when you're wearing when you're using on versus a phone or a console or something like that, or a preamp. So if you have more ohms, that means you will need more power, basically, is what they're saying. A lot of people don't know about impedance, but yeah. Are you for a pair of $35 Beyerdynamics from Behringer? Amon, I'm going to start with you.
You should go straight to Mr. Different. He's nodding his head. I'm definitely not for it, bro. Oh, I'm definitely not for it. I'm not for it because I've sold products when before I was a professional mixer. When I wanted to be a professional mixer, I used to sell products, and I had shelves and shelves and shelves of broken products from them.
Yeah,
for a reason. And I'm the type of person that, like, if I buy a drill, I'm gonna buy a DeWalt, not a Ryobi or whatever, right? And the reason being is that I want, like, the accuracy of a tool and the ability, the durability and longevity of a tool. To me, it's like you buy it once and it rides out with you. Like, my DT 770s have been around for like 9 years, and they sound great.
Forever.
Yeah. But like I owned 2 Behringer products, and they both died. And I'd never bought their stuff again. But on the production side, I don't know about the production side. This is just on the engineering side. You know what I mean? But the headphones, I think it's great if you don't mind having for podcasting or that kind of thing. I think that maybe is a great price point. I just don't fucking trust it. I feel like if you're trying to sell me a Cadillac for the price of a bicycle, I don't want to buy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, good points there. Busy Works, what you got here for us on that? Because you got the 990s on right now, I think.
These are Sennheiser HD 600.
Ooh, excuse me.
Wait, are these?
That boy
Is the good grade? Is the good guy? No. Is the what are these called again? The DT 770?
Yeah, the Beyerdynamic DT 770s are they? What I'm rocking.
I mean, what's the one that's just came out?
Oh, they're called and disrespectfully at that. They're called the BH 770s.
The BH.
Should be the BS 77.
I can't, bro.
That's so disrespectful of their Behringer. God dang. Well, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so for people who are just new to the game and don't understand the difference between, are they open back or closed back?
They're closed back.
Closed back. So for a producer who's making beats on a laptop, let's say, do you think they should start with closed back to understand like their vocals, or should they start with open back to focus more on like the mixing? What do you think? Where should they start?
I mean, I like closed backs, period, but I've actually experienced a couple of the DT 990s, and I really like the open backs. Mr. Different, don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Oh, no, I'm going to say my engineer that comes and records me and my artists, and everything, he just bought him a pair of the HD 600s, like the ones Busy Beach Rock right now. After I heard it, he let me try them out for a little bit. Yeah, I went ahead and ordered a pair. Yeah, I mean, it depends. I mean, closed backs are more versatile, I guess, because open backs do let sound spill out. So if you are recording anything like that, you don't want open back headphones. You want to bleed to your microphone. So closed backs would be, I mean, starting out, I would say go with closed backs, but once you get, I guess, higher in your skill set, open backs are definitely a good thing to look into, because they have a bigger sound stage. It just I don't know, it sounds more natural. It sounds, because you technically hear in the room plus the sound. I mean, kind of. It's hard to explain. You got to hear. You got to try them out, hear them. Go to your local guitar center.
Mine down the street from me. Thank you. I love this location.
I don't know, man. You still going busy? I don't want to see a video.
I was just gonna say, it's kind of like buying speakers. Like you have to experience it for yourself, in my opinion, to know like what you're gonna get. Now, from Aman, since he's into the studio building aspect too, from a high level perspective, what's the reality of mixing on headphones? Like, can we expect that big kind of stereo image sound if all we're listening to is just however big our head is, like from ear to ear?
I mean, so from the technical side of it, like the waveform doesn't get the chance to actually happen in the real world, and it's not interacting with any of the objects in the room. And so I don't personally feel like headphones are nearly as accurate, but there are things that your brain is able to pick up. Not your ears, because your ear hears it all anyway, but your brain picks up certain things more easily in headphones. That's the way I would describe it. So I think headphones are great for for checking mixes. Like I would say mix on speakers in an acoustically corrected environment and then check the mix on a pair of headphones, because it's going to be a little bit... The thing about the headphones is they're going to remove the room. But the thing about the headphones is they're going to remove the room.
Right.
So... Yeah, that's the easiest way of saying it. So yeah, I know a couple people like Corey Anders, who's a fantastic mixer. He mixes in headphones. Kenny Mix on occasion mixes in headphones, but he's got like a $5,000 pair of headphones. So
$5,000.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I don't even know what they're called because I can't even entertain the idea of buying something like that.
Absolutely, positively not. Yes.
Yeah, I think Sennheiser makes like a $2,000 pair of headphones. I was like, oh no, nah.
Yeah,
keep that.
He's got a special preamp just for those headphones that come with. It's like, you know what, bro, you win.
That sounds like Leslie. That's how Leslie is. Leslie got the damn premium of all that stuff, and I'm like, man, you're really coming in here with cases of stuff that you prefer when you mix. I'm like, bruh, this gotta be tiresome. Like, God damn.
A briefcase full of like
certain kinds of Apollo UAD stuff. I mean, bruh, I'm like, man, you know what? You do got a lot of plaques on your wall, but goddamn.
There you go.
Hey, Leslie can do it, man. He got the guap to do it. Hell,
yeah.
Street Runner was, huh?
Oh, go ahead. Street Runner, what?
Street Runner was telling me the other day that everywhere Khaled goes, he's got a pair of what are those? Osburgers. So he has like literally like everywhere he goes, he has the Osburgers, and if the location he's going to doesn't have them, then they take them.
Yeah.
What?
Damn,
like
that
20-foot
sounds
speaker.
ridiculous. But I can't see myself not rocking with somebody. Well, I can. I mean, not everybody's gonna have those damn $25,000 joints, and it's not like you necessarily need them. But damn, it feels good to judge your drums off them some bitches, and that's why I like going over there to Stinkonia, and where else they got a pair of Osburgers over there at I don't even know if they even exist anymore, because they was talking about they was selling that studio. Silent Sounds, I think it's Silent Sounds. Yeah, they got Osburgers. I
don't know if they're still there. Yeah, TK spot.
Yeah, I know they was talking about he was talking about selling that joint. I was like, really? I was like, what? But anyway,
put those in our house.
super exclusive stuff, guys. Super exclusive. But,
can you imagine trying to install Osburgers in your home, just like with no treatment or anything? But
oh man,
freaking yeah. To Aman, what you were saying about it takes the room out of the room. Like basically, every time I go to Paramount, for example, which is in LA, and I'll listen to like a mix over the speakers, but I'm like, it's super hard to identify stuff like when it's over a speaker. Like you can't hear all the little details that I'm so used to over headphones. So you're saying like get the vibe through the speakers, go in, listen to like the little scratch you can't really hear.
That's where the NS10s come in, baby. Oh man, you can't help but to get used to them some bitches. I still love the NS10s, but you know they're just not the bass. They're just the.
Come on, buy your pill, stock up wine. Stop, don't waste your time.
Shut up, man.
Well, what it boils down to is that it's all about what you're used to listening on and how good you are at compensating for the deficiencies of the thing you're used to listening on. So if you're used to listening on headphones, you can still be a dope mixer or be dope at mixing, but you have to have developed the skill set to like
trial and error.
Yeah, you just have to bang your head up against the wall until you understand the difference between what your headphones sound like and what it sounds like in the real world.
And I think that's the problem. I think that's why people struggle with engineering altogether, because it's not audio engineering, I guess. Because they're not good at solving those problems, and they're not willing to develop those problems and fail at mixing. That's the thing. My bad, brother.
Oh no, you're good, man. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, engineering is not like nobody knows who you are. It's not a glory job. And producers kind of have become kind of like the artists now too, which is dope. Which I love.
Engineers getting there too, though. I say engineers getting there. A lot of people are starting
I intend to change that. Yeah, I intend to change that for sure.
Yeah, shit. I be shitting me. They be artists. They be like, man, I'm only fucking with Leslie. I'm only fucking with Lou. I'm only fucking with this person. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, these dudes is bad. Like, they got people request, like, they won't even walk in the studio unless they're a certain engineer. What's Meek Mill's engineer's name? I keep on forgetting his name.
Bruce.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And people will not. I'm telling you, like I was sitting there at Astro, just like, man, like this artist, I don't even know who this artist is, but they're requesting him. And like, man, nah, man, I don't want nobody else touching my shit. I'm like, god damn.
Well, put it this way, like, what if the reason why a lot of my clients feel that way is because let's say your haircut, right? Like, let's say you've been going to the same barber for 5 years, right? And that barber has taken the time. They've seen you grow through all the different things that you've gone through. They understand exactly what you need. And then you might have just like some therapy when you go. You might, you know what I'm saying? Like, right. you talk to your barber, y'all talk about the game, y'all, whatever. It's kind of therapeutic. Y'all have a vibe and energy. Y'all understand each other. Right. Engineered, it's like 1,000 times more of the same thing. Like, you don't want to walk into work with a new barber when you have something important happening. You want to go to that person that has already taken the time and invested their energy in listening to you for years and understanding what you want out of a record. Yeah. So when that happens and that person is seasoned, even if it's a new client, it's still the same thing. It's like people appreciate the time you've invested in your skill set and your ability to interpret what their vision is. And that's essentially with engineering, that's what you're paying for. You're paying for somebody to be able to manifest in the real world the thing that you had as a vision. And so that's what we do it through technology. You know what I mean? And that's, it's kind of similar to what y'all do as producers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You brought back a flashback of when I was in Paramount, and for one, like, a lot of people underestimate emotions in music. Like, I was on paid time. Like, I was paying the time, blah, blah, blah. We were supposed to collab with this other producer. I'm not going to put his name out there, but we literally spent 4 hours talking about relationship stuff just so we could, like, move to working stuff. A lot of people undervalue, like, the emotional side of getting ready to work with music. And then this is probably the most underrated job in the whole industry, is just being the audio engineer of the room. Even if it's like auto assigned, like when you go to a studio and they auto assign somebody, like, that relationship is super real. Like you said, they go in there, you have an energetic thing. Like, they might just be fun to work with. Like, they might be trustworthy. It's not always about the product, even though they make it sound good. But it's like, I want Ayo Drew every time I go to Paramount, because like we had a real bond. And I feel like that's the most, like, the position with the most advantage for those who are like looking for making a lot of relationships in the industry. Being somehow finagling your way to being an engineer of a room is probably what do you guys think about that? It's probably the best position you can have. Next, I mean, I don't even think producers get that much leverage.
Yeah, the engineer secondhand is probably the biggest influence, because they're gonna most engineers these days are executives. They're executive producers. on projects and stuff like that. Like again, like when you're dealing with somebody like Lou or Leslie, like those dudes aren't there. There's not much because they know the importance of a project, and they also establish a very good relationship. Like they bring very good energy as well as their problem solving. Like they really bring good energy to the room and stuff like that. And you know, I mean, you just don't want to bring bad energy of any sorts when it comes to making a project and go well.
Yeah, you brought back another memory, and I gotta hop out of here because I got to pack for my flight. I don't want to miss this flight because it was paid by somebody else. I'll make one last story. Is when I went to Patchwork. You would think Patchwork, okay, you know, one of the best studios in Atlanta, blah blah blah. Then you go in there, and the engineer is just like, he acted like he didn't care that I was like a paying client.
Here we go again.
Like what? I'm not complaining or anything. It's just like, at least, I don't know. He just felt so detached that like it wasn't fun. Like it made me stop wanting to work, and we just did something else. Like I asked him something super simple, and he's like, I don't know. You tell me. I'm like, you're the engineer. Like how to set up the mics. It was a weird experience.
Yeah,
but I forget his name.
Has and it's lost its luster to me a little bit, and it's sad in certain cases because they have a lot of history in that studio. But they got some pretty decent people in there as of now. I don't know who was the fellow that you was working with over there, and that kind of sucks that you had that experience over there at Patchworks. Cause
the opposite experience when I go to Patchworks.
Say what now?
I have a different experience when I go there because one of the engineer that records us now, we actually met him at Patchwork. He's our engineer the first time I went there, and we just worked with him like the next 5 or 6 times we went down there. And then now he comes to our studio and engineers. He's like, man, I'll just come to y'all because I stay in North Carolina. I come through there, you know, I'll stop by and record y'all then, you know, do it there.
I'll do it.
So
I guess maybe it just shows like the emotional impact of the engineer. Like they play a huge role in the way your session is about to go.
Right.
Yeah. It's you have to so engineering to me, like I'm not into tracking anymore because it's so emotionally draining. Just being real.
It's factual. It's factual.
It's very draining. If I'm excited about the product or the person, then I'll track. But the thing about engineering is that, you know, you prepare before the person arrives. You set the mood, you know, you deal with the lighting, you know, you make sure the system is running properly. And then when they get there, you're the only person that's not asking for anything from anybody. That's the powerful thing about engineering. So like let's say if an artist contacts an artist and says, hey, I want you to jump on this record, you're asking for something. If a producer contacts an artist, you know, like whatever, you're asking. Engineers are the only people in the room that are not asking for anything. They are 100% there to serve the music, or to serve the client, and that's what makes it powerful. So in doing that, you have to be observant of all the energy of you have to watch body language. You have to watch, you know what I'm saying? Like anything that's going on, you have to anticipate people's needs. Like if you can tell somebody seems a little tired, hey, you want some water? I don't have to give nobody no fucking water. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I have a staff, but like I'm gonna get you water because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to make sure the music, not even the person, but the music is the best it can be. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's when you talk about how powerful the engineer's role is in the mood of the room. Like if you have a closed energy, like you're not receptive to other people, if you're not receptive to other people's ideas, if you're not open-minded, if you just seem kind of quartered off and you don't want to interact with people, like you have to be the conduit for not only the communication between people in the room who may not know each other well, but you have to be a conduit for the energy that's coming through for the music. You have to channel that energy into the system. And then, you know what I'm saying, and make it manifest. So it's like engineering is a massive responsibility, and And yeah, it absolutely I don't want to say controls the mood of the room, but if the engineer is not in the right headspace, or is not a giving person in general, or is like the type of person who needs to be seen and acknowledged all the time, then that engineer is going to destroy your session.
I see somebody in the
Put you
chat.
in the wrong
like,
key with auto tune.
Oh man. Oh man. Somebody in the chat was saying engineers need to be more open-minded. What engineer are you working with? Most engineers that have been doing it for a very long time, they know to make sure they put the ego they put the ego away for the project. Like they, I mean, we're talking about some of the best I dealt with, from rock engineers and on down. Like most of them, they don't sit there and tell you how to do this and that. Other than they might ask you what you think, or perhaps you should do this, or recording and stuff like that. Like, I mean, because some people, especially when you're dealing with artists, because sometimes back in the DZ, when I really was recording artists, like they used to come in intoxicated and they think that everything that they're slurring sounds good or something like that. Like, boy, like you deal with a lot when you're an engineer. Like that's why engineers are very important to the whole entire scope, even more so than producers these days, because like we were saying, and what Swiss Beats said, and what we talked about 2 weeks ago, is that you just handing a beat to an artist is you handing a beat. So, you know, you're not really living your purpose as if you were just sitting there and you're working with the artist and you're and getting the vibe together. You know what I'm saying? And that's really important. It's really important.
You know what else to have? Whoever the person who typed the comments in, I would also ask yourself if you're not being open-minded.
Right.
Because if you're working with an engineer, not a Pro Tools operator.
God damn. I didn't know they had a curse word for Pro Tools people. I got to watch out for that. I just started learning Pro Tools.
Well, look, if you're dealing with a person who walks in and they just press buttons, that's not an engineer. That's a Pro Tools operator, a Logic operator, a Ableton operator. That's an operator, right? If you're dealing with an actual engineer, that engineer is going to be open-minded. But what happens sometimes is you as a creative person are so fixated on the way you want something to be or what you intended it to be that you're closed-minded to the engineer trying to help you to bring it to fruition. And as engineers, we understand the stages of something. So if you want to track a vocal by clipping the vocal into the microphone, no, this is a real
it's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk.
So if you want to track that, because you're like, yo, I like the distortion. I like the way it feels with that distortion. Well, that engineer may try to explain to you, well, look, we can add distortion to your vocal without doing that, but we have the flexibility of modifying it and sculpting it if we do it this other way. But if you're closed-minded to that, because you're looking at this one stage, there's this, very tunnel vision oriented mentality. The engineer may be looking at all the proceeding stages all the way up until mastering and the record being published, because we have that kind of experience. Sometimes we're sharing that with you. Like if you want to oversaturate the vocal with reverb, there's a good way to do that, and there's a way that's going to prevent the vocal from being from cutting through in the mix. So you kind of have to ask yourself too. Don't just put it on the engineer. Are you being open-minded? If you're working with a real engineer, please make sure that you're being open-minded, because we're here to help. Period.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Very true. And some people, I mean, it's so funny how people's only references are like, hey, can you pull up the Travis Scott type of sound or the NBA Youngboy preset that you have?
That's how the whole type beat thing goes. I remember you doing a video on that, and you was talking about type beats, and I'm like, yeah. And when artists come in, 9 times out of 10, they want you to make something exactly like that person. So it's like not even a point of somebody saying, oh, the type beat shit is dumb. Like, no, right. That's what people usually reference. So
yeah, they'll pull up Spotify and be like, hey, make something like this. Like, oh, okay.
Pull up Spotify.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. Man.
But listen, guys, I appreciate the invite here. I got to take some responsibility and make sure that I can't miss this flight, because they'll be like, you weren't here on time. Like, it's a company paying for this flight and hotel.
Oh, yeah, get
your shit, they got you whipped. Nah, I was about to say-
Yeah. I got to be on time.
Oh my
I'm gonna keep tuning in though. I'm not gonna like abandon you guys. I just gotta start packing, or else I'm gonna be late. I already
It's all
know.
good. Love you, brother, man. Be
Oh,
well.
yeah,
Safe
love you
journey.
too, man.
Safe
Alright.
travels. Can't wait to see you in ATL.
Oh yeah, I'll see you guys soon enough. All right, guys.
All right, take it easy, brother. But
I'm
yeah,
gonna get off soon, my dang self.
Yeah,
I do want to
yeah.
answer that Behringer thing at least before I get off. I'm gonna go. I get to this photo shoot myself in a few.
oh yeah, we're pretty good here. I only had like one thing left, and we'll leave it at that. And that's the Ableton Live controller thingy.
I'll let you do that. But as far as the Behringer headphones thing, I just want to touch on that a little bit.
Okay.
I see what Behringer's doing. They're once again they're just doing they're just being what any competition would do. You know what I'm saying? Try to bring competition to the market. In my opinion, will I buy a pair? Yes, I pre-order a pair. $35. Who wouldn't? I really pre-order a pair.
I'm definitely gonna judge it very harshly towards my
yeah,
Beyerdynamics. If you want to copy some shit, then let it be what it be.
See, I'm not even gonna do that though, because I don't expect them to be as good as the Beyerdynamic. I paid $180 for these. I don't expect a $35 pair of headphones.
I do if you copy the shit. Fuck that.
What? You looking from a different light. I'm looking at it from a realistic lens though. I look at like this a pair that I can throw in my bag, go anywhere with. If it breaks, it breaks. $35, I don't care. If I break these, nobody touch these headphones in my studio. In my studio, these are mine. Like you can't touch them, look at them. I hide them for everybody. But a pair of $35 ones, everybody like, oh, can I try them out? No. You better get my beat up Sennheiser when I go over there. You try them all. So yeah, having a $35 pair of headphones I can let anybody use, put in my bag, travel with. They bang up a little bit, whatever. $35.
Well, you can already do that then. There's regular headphones that are spec'd out, like quote unquote spec'd out, exactly like the Beyerdynamics or a little less.
But look at this.
So if I'm gonna pay for something that's supposed to be like something, it needs to be like it, just like the RD's 08.
You look at it from a different light. You judge it from a closed-minded perspective though, because you're so in love with your Beyerdynamics. Everything else is just like nah. You're like the FL Studio user who won't try nothing else.
I'm an FL11 guy that won't go to 20.
Yeah, exactly.
Goddamn.
So I look at like it is what it is. It is what it is. But I say, like I said, in the day, I'm gonna try them out for the fact that they're cheap, affordable. If they got the same feel, at least they don't have to be the same sound. I'm not gonna mix in them. I'm not. I'll track through them. I'll track through them and all that. But I'm not gonna mix through them. But hey, $35 for somebody who can't afford these for $180. A $35 pair I think is a good thing. It's gonna make it to where either Beyerdynamic is gonna come out with a new headphone or something, or bring the price down, to compete. It's what it is. I'm not gonna make it. They're not gonna make their headphones $35. I know that for sure. But I would say, like I say, it's once again just competition. Like I said, Behringer been doing some nice stuff. The Model D is dope. What else they released? The Roland is dope. Looking forward to the ARP Odyssey that they got coming out. They also got the SH101. I mean, hell, I hope they do like a Jupiter. They need to do that.
Mind you, the RD08 is true to the TR808. And then some. So I'm not gonna go. We're gonna go to the next topic.
But if it's $35 and it sounds good, can you be mad at Behringer? Can you be really? If
they sound good, then that's fine. Yeah. But they definitely have a track record of putting out some very shoddy shit. My first guitar was a Behringer guitar. Never again.
Over there, I just bought me a new guitar because my old Behringer guitar that I've been had is trash now. But yeah, I just bought me a new one myself. So
wouldn't even stay in tune. Like I like you strum on that junk for like 2 seconds and wouldn't even stay in tune. Like come on, bro.
Done.
But yeah.
But hey, we'll just have to see when it comes out. Like I said, it's still been out. I did pre-order a pair $35. I had that on deck. I said whatever. We'll see when it comes in. So we'll just see. But I hope it's at least decent enough. And I don't even care. Like I said, if my artists like it, I'm cool. Just saying because they're not touching these. I love these. These are my personal pair. They can't have these. So that's how I look at it.
So you gonna fool them?
You know what you tell people, bro?
Mm-hmm.
What I tell people, the reason why I don't let them touch mine is because like with regular, like the with the Sennheisers or whatever, like these are easy to wipe off.
Yeah.
But like with those, like you're not gonna sweat in those headphones. That's like it's got cotton on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I tell people like, nah, that's my personal pair. They don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't want other people sweating stuff getting on them, and it,
Exactly.
They don't like it. They don't like it.
As I feel, I'm like, hey, nah, I love these. I paid money for them for a reason, and they're hidden for a reason because they just me. I don't even take them out my studio. My Sennheisers are all beat up because I take them everywhere with me. Like I said, having a pair, having a knockoff pair of these to take with me, who not to love? It feels the same and it fits the same. That's what I want. I like the feel of these headphones and everything. And that's it's a personal taste. I like them, and that's why. So a cheaper version of them may not be the same quality wise, but hey, it could be something to have. But with that being said, I'm gonna have to get going too because I don't want to miss this photo shoot. And I also got to help my dad pick up this car as well. So yeah, I do apologize for leaving early.
We're about to go ahead and close this thing out because we all got things to do. And I really do appreciate you guys for checking in with me today on the podcast. I really do appreciate all you. Amon, thanks again.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Different, thank you. Busy Word Beats, thanks for the golden.
They go to exit. Man, Busy Word Beats a funny dude, man. He's a funny dude.
Bro, it's how he can say something and like it's not a joke, but it's extra a joke. You know what I'm saying? He's so slick with it, bro. Like that dude is awesome. But yeah, it's an honor. It's an honor, man. And it's great meeting you, Mr. Different. You know what I'm saying? We'll stay in touch.
You hope another podcast. Your knowledge you just spit today was amazing. I'm gonna go rewatch a lot of the stuff you said because you said some gems. I think a lot of people
appreciate that, bro.
But I'm gonna pick up on. I'm gonna write them down. Take them.
Appreciate that, bro. Yeah, anytime. Just hit me up, man. We'll stay in touch for sure.
Say no more then.
All right,
y'all. Well, I'm gonna head on out. Y'all be easy.
I'm gonna hit y'all with that outro. God bless everybody.